Hi, everybody. I want to talk about curriculum evaluation today. A lot of times we're not writing our own curriculum. We're actually going to use a pre-packaged curriculum. And that used to be pretty easy. We could get our curriculum from Cokesbury, and we can still do that. We can go to the Cokesbury website. If we're United Methodist, we can look for the Cross and Flame and know that that curriculum is going to be theologically where we are as United Methodist. The problem is that we don't have any Cokesbury stores anymore. That used to be a thing that existed. And so you could go look at curriculum, you could open it up, you could look through it. But now we're a little more limited. I mean, we can order it, we can look at it online. Some of it is all online curriculum now. We can have it just sent to us, download it. A lot of it has videos and that type of thing with it. But a lot of folks will go other places to look for curriculum, and I think this often happens. Folks will go to brick and mortar stores like a Mardel's, which doesn't have our theologically sound curriculum a lot of times. I'm not saying they don't have certain things in there, but we know that their owners have a different theological understanding than our United Methodists do. And so you want to look probably first for your denominational curriculum. So if you're Southern Baptist, I think Lifeway is who works with your curriculum, United Methodists, Cokesbury, and so forth. So the first place often to turn to look for good curriculum is with your own folks, right? That your denomination. But there's other curriculum out there you may want to use. And so one of the things that becomes very crucial for us is to be able to look at a curriculum and to evaluate it. So you have some online readings this week about evaluating curriculum, and you're going to use those guides to look at a curriculum of your choosing to evaluate for your assignment. Now, one of the things that I do right off the bat when I'm looking at a curriculum that I'm not familiar with is I want to see what version of the Bible they're using. If they're using King James Version, I know that that's most likely a much more theologically conservative curriculum than where we stand as United Methodist. So I look, are they using the NIV? Are they using the New Revised Standard Version? Maybe even the New Revised Standard Version updated, at this point. So looking at what Bible they are quoting from is one window into trying to see kind of where they stand theologically. Looking at the publisher can be another way to do that. So trying to see who are the publishers of the curriculum. Is it Chalice Press? Is it Abington? And so forth. So Baker, we can look at that and start to kind of feel like, where is it coming from? Another thing I'll do, especially in children's curriculum, is I will look through it. I want to see what not only the words are saying, but the pictures are saying. So for instance, what color are the people that they're saying were in the Bible, right? Is Jesus lily white? Or does Jesus look more like the Middle Eastern person that he was? Are there women in the stories? Are there women as pastors? If those type pictures exist, is there a good balance? Is there a mix of folks within these stories? And also in the drawings. I think that's really important to look at, right? So our words speak. Do they use more inclusive language, or do they tend to use less inclusive language when talking about human beings? Are they using words like human being, or are they using mankind? Are they using God, or are they using really over and over male pronouns for God? So just looking at those things, being aware of what they're using can help is the curriculum right for you? Some of the other things you always want to look at, and these are in your handout, so you can look at the handouts and kind of go through it step by step. And there's a couple of handouts that really do that. So the one that says selecting a curriculum that is right for your church kind of gives you a step-by-step look at how to discern what is good curriculum and does it fit your church. There's tons of curriculum out there, and there's a reason for that because there's different types of churches that have different theologies. Another thing that I've gotten very sensitive to is how do they talk about baptism, or how do they talk about the Eucharist? Is it a table that's open for all? When they talk about baptism, do they include infant baptism as well as believers baptism, or is it just believers baptism? So we want to make sure that whatever curriculum we pick, it meets where we are theologically, right? Different churches are different places, and you need to have what fits with your folks. So the other one of the other articles is Curriculum and the Ministry of Christian Education. This one also has a lot of good ways to evaluate curriculum. It has questions you can ask. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a curriculum that you want to evaluate, and you're going to use these worksheets to do that. If you find one more helpful than the other, I'm fine. You don't have to use both of them necessarily. You can decide to go one way or the other, or you may use a combination of the worksheets to help you look at the curriculum. There's also one other reading to do for this week as well that is online. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. Most of the time, we're not going to write our own curriculum unless you just love it. I hope you enjoy it. But one of the hard things about that is that we just don't have time to write curriculum all the time. But whatever curriculum you pick, you need to evaluate it. And then maybe you like parts of it, but you don't like other parts. How are you going to, and can it be adapted as it is so that you can use it in your classroom with your folks, right? So we can always adapt curriculum. Curriculum, and I've written curriculum for Cokesbury, and one of the things you've got to know is that when we write curriculum, we're writing kind of towards the middle, right? So that all sorts of churches can use it. The size of your church can change how you use a curriculum. Maybe you have a curriculum that is for a different age group, but you really like what's in it, so you want to adjust it for a different age group. So you are always going to have to adapt curriculum for your situation. But what you definitely want to do is make sure that it is where you want it to be, and it matches up with what you're teaching theologically. So for us as United Methodist, we want to make sure that both men and women can be ordained. We want to make sure that if it's talking about baptism, it means children all the way up can be baptized, right? Different ways, methods of baptism. We want to be able to talk about an open table and those type of things. So just evaluate it for where you are, whatever that place may be, and how would you evaluate it, and could it be used and adapted? Or would this be a curriculum you said, nope, that's not one for us. It may be good someplace else, but not for us. So these are things to keep in mind as you are looking at evaluating and adapting curriculum.